Well, congratulations to the both of you. It's a fixture which is so important to the fans. Levi, what does it mean to you as players to have come out on top?
Yeah, it means everything, to beat them, rivals. It was a great win, and just over the moon.
What about the way you went about it? I'm sure Mark Cucurella's a bit relieved in that dressing room. What was going through your mind in that first sort of 10, 15 minutes?
We knew it was going to be tough, but we trust ourselves that when we start playing our football, we're going to score goals, and that's what we've done.
Perhaps no one you trust more than this guy?
Maybe, yeah. No, definitely not.
Played your part again, Cole. As we mentioned, this is such a big fixture for the fans. How proud are you to have scored those two from the spot today?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be tough, so to win is good.
So you set another record. That's 12 out of 12 now, without missing from the spot. A new Premier League record once more. And you sealed it with a Panenka. When you're stepping up, at which point did you decide to do that with your second penalty?
When I've stepped back, I've looked at the clock and thought it's a bit frantic. The game's all over the place. I thought the keeping, then I was ready to dive. So I thought if I chipped it, I'd go in, and it did.
How do you stay so cool? I can tell from the way that you talk about it, it's almost quite innate. It comes naturally to you. But when you're bending down, tying your laces, ready to take that penalty, what kind of thoughts are you getting?
I'm just trying to score, and thanks for waiting.
He's a man not of many words in these situations, but I think it sums up his composure. I mean, just how much of an asset is it to have a player like this in your team? And do you think it breeds a level of confidence among all the players? Is this why we're seeing so many of you chip in now going forward?
Yeah, definitely. We've got amazing players just like Cole. When he scores big goals for us, it calms us all down, and he's been doing it and he keeps doing it, and hopefully it carries on in the future.
And with the goal-scoring form that you have been in, scoring so many across recent games, when you find yourself 2-0 down in games like this, has it give you that undercurrent of confidence that you will find your way back? You can score 3-4?
Yeah, definitely. It's 2-0 down, but if you look amongst the players, no one was panicking. It's still early on in the game, and we knew it was going to create big chances, and it's down to if we score them or not.
Now just 4 points behind Liverpool, whilst you're both, I think, quite keen to shy away any title talk. This puts you in a great position. You've taken a big opportunity today.
Yeah, we knew with Arsenal drawing and City drawing, we needed to win, and we did.
Your manager will point out that perhaps this isn't your season. You've still got work to progress with those other teams, with your Cities, with your Liverpools, with your Arsenals. But City and Arsenal dropping points again this weekend. I mean, it begs the question, you are doing what they're not doing. This is 5 wins in a row now.
Yeah, of course, but we still got so much more to improve on. Like the gaffer said, when we're ready to push for a title, we won't be 2-0 down in the first 10. That's the levels, and that's what we're going to keep working on.
All right, well, congratulations to you both today. I think, Cole, once more, you are the player of the match. If you wouldn't mind doing the honours, Levi.
Yeah, brother. Congratulations.
Thank you, mate.
Keep saving us. Go on.
In a very low-key way, that's about as close as you're going to get to a player saying, yeah, we are definitely in this title race from Cole Palmer. Jamie Carragher has joined us. Paul and Jamie were talking about Cole Palmer just a little bit earlier on, and how much of an impact he has. That's all 12 of his penalties he's scored, which is the best 100% record in the Premier League, as Emma mentioned in the interview. But that aside, just talk about his contribution to this game today.
Well, I mean, listen, he gets the penalties involved in the Fernandes goal as well. I mean, there's 3 or 4 players around him, and that's what great players do. You fear when he's on the ball. And, I mean, I've been watching him, loved him last season. He started this season really well. And I think I made a comment a few weeks ago that if you look at his almost 18 months at Chelsea, I don't think there's been a player in the Premier League who's performed better than him over these 18 months. And he hasn't been playing for the best team. I mean, they look like one of the best teams in the league right now. But when you think of Chelsea over the years and the great players they've had some great attacking players. But when you think of those flair players, I'd think of like Zola and Hazard. I think he's probably done more than Zola in these 18 months that he's done. And Zola's probably going to go down as one of the greatest players to ever play for Chelsea. And he's probably on the same sort of level as what I've seen Hazard do, but maybe a longer period of time at Chelsea for 4 or 5 years. But right now, I think the way he's going, and if he can take Chelsea to a title, whether it's this season or the next 2 or 3 seasons, he's going to go down as one of the greatest players to ever play for Chelsea if he keeps doing what he's doing. He is a very, very special player, and not just in the Premier League, in European or world football.
Paul, it will take a longer period of time for Cole Palmer to establish himself as one of the greats, as Jamie says. But just in terms of that 18 months since he came to Chelsea, talk about the impact that he's had in that time.
Well, phenomenal. First of all, coming down from Man City, coming down from Manchester to London is a big move in itself, you know, and he's a young lad.
Especially with the trains.
And he's come into the team and he's been outstanding. When you first come into the team, you're a young kid, you come from Man City, no one really knows about him, didn't play loads. So you get a bit of a free hit. You know, you play your stuff and people don't pick you up. The last 6-7 months, he's the big boy. You know, the name of the game is stop Cole Palmer. Stop him playing. Maybe you might be able to stop Chelsea. He can't do it. And that shows how good he is, because he becomes present in team talks. If you're the manager of another team, you're like, right, we need to stop Cole Palmer. As soon as we lose the ball, someone go and connect on him. He's too intelligent. He gets into space. He's always got space, always got time. I couldn't talk highly enough of him. Everybody needs an X factor to win Premier League titles. You've got to have that bit of something extra. Like today, you know, he gets the 2 penalties, makes it happen for the Fernandes goal. You need that. If you want to win titles, you need to have that X factor, and Chelsea have it with him. Well, 100%.
It was talk about. I tell you what, let's get some post-match reaction. I'm delighted to say Jadon Sancho of Chelsea joins us now from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Jadon, thanks for joining us tonight. Well done this evening. I mean, what a comeback win in the end.
First of all, thank you for having me. Yeah, what can I say? It was a great win, a great comeback, and we're just delighted with the 3 points.
2-0 down after 11 minutes. What are you thinking?
To be fair, I have a lot of trust in this squad, so I wasn't too fazed. And once we got the first goal back, I knew it would come back and get a result.
Can you talk us through your goal, if you don't mind?
Well, yeah, it was a 1v1, and I saw the opportunity to cut inside. And then I just thought, why not? Why not shoot? In training recently, I've been working on my shooting, so I'm just delighted that I came off today.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those with very little backlift. Is that a technique you're trying to master?
Yeah, definitely. Just in training, I've just been working on hitting the far corner, so I'm very delighted.
Jadon, Ian Wright. Jadon, I just want to say to you, what's the manager said to you? Coming here on loan and playing, you're getting yourself playing. You seem to be back to the Jadon Sancho we know. You know, the touches were great. You know, nutmegging people, doing your stuff, scoring goals. What's the manager say to you?
From the very first day, they've made me feel welcome, and you know I have a lot of people to prove wrong, and I'm just day by day I'm working hard every day in training, and you know once I get my opportunity, I just try to show what I can do. So today, you know, I'm happy that I scored and got the 3 points for the team.
Nice.
Actually, it's the first time you've scored in successive Premier League games. I mean, do you think we're starting to see the best of Jadon Sancho now?
Again, I'm just taking it game by game. Hopefully, I can continue this form. And but yeah, again, I've got to say thank you to the whole Chelsea team and the staff for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to play.
Nice.
As an attacking force, I mean, Chelsea are going to need some stopping. You've got some real momentum, some real talent in there, not least Cole Palmer. Talk to us about the way he took that second penalty.
Well, yeah, he always does these type of things in training, so I'm kind of not surprised that how he took this second goal of his.
You can't help but smile when you see it, right?
No, for sure. It's just because we see it all the time in training. So you know, again, I'm just very happy for him to get the second goal and you know to secure the 3 points.
In the last few days, in the wake of the Southampton win, Enzo Maresca and Cole himself have been playing down your title chances. But the more you continue to win, the more you're going to be in the conversation. So surely that's got to be in your thinking at some point.
Well, definitely after tonight, it's not in our thinking at all. Again, we're going to take it game by game. It's still early in the season, so anything can happen. So, you know, we're just glad that we got the 3 points and on to Brentford next week.
So tell me then, finally, Jadon, what would be a good season for Chelsea?
Just keep winning. What can I say? Again, I can't get carried away because it's still early on in the season, but we're very delighted with the 3 points.
It's really good seeing you back in form. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you guys for having me. Take care.
Tell Carragher to sort his boots out.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry. That's definitely going to be part of the conversation in training.
Cheers, Jadon.
Take care, guys.
Jadon Sancho on the score sheet for Chelsea. But what about the boys in blue, Dan? What a response from Enzo Maresca's men.
Yeah, brilliant, especially half-time, I think. Spoke before, they probably invited Tottenham on them a little bit too much first half, but second half I thought they were brilliant, controlled the game. Obviously 2 penalties. I'm sure Tottenham will be really disappointed with the penalties. They were poor challenges, but they were well worth it.
Cole Palmer with 2 more goals, both of them from the penalty spot in. It was the second one that really
beautiful,
done with such confidence.
Yeah, to the point, when you think of the chance that he did miss, he could have had an hat-trick in this game, but in the end, you know, it's Spurs that just didn't seem to have any build-up play to put Chelsea's defence under any kind of pressure. Didn't have the ball long enough, didn't create anything, and you just felt like if once they changed their shape a little, Chelsea, they just had so much of the ball, and then it was just going to be a matter of time.
Before we talk about Tottenham, Glenn, for Chelsea to go within 4 points of Liverpool, they've taken that chance today, but they did it the hard way, didn't they?
Well, they did it the hard way, but you know, the first half was like a basketball game. You know, they still could have scored 3 themselves first half, Chelsea. That's the way the game was. But what I was impressed was second half. They just took away the ball from Tottenham, and they penned them in, and they kept the ball. It looked as if they were going to score at any moment. When they did, they got the penalty, and then they were right back on the front foot. But the 3 at the back, in possession, they went into 3 at the back, and they, you know, obviously they made the substitute. Casado goes into centre midfield where he should be, and they start to dictate. They have a spare man in there. Palmer goes in that little inside right position, couldn't get picked up, and the rest is history. They deserved it thoroughly, and Spurs were left wanting, really. They're too easy to play against Tottenham. I've said this time and time again.
Yeah. I mean, that was some capitulation in some respects after what we saw after the opening 20 minutes from Spurs.
Yeah, good start from Tottenham. Energy, you know, when you've got the energy and you can press like they did, Chelsea played into their hands a little bit and they go 2-0 up. Now, sometimes I think you've got to go, well, we've got to stop pressing there. It's not going to last for 90 plus minutes. There's now you can press from a little bit of a deeper area, and then you start causing problems and you hit the team on the break from 2-0. And that never happened. They just keep playing the same way, and they get too open.
I think the way Chelsea started, you could feel there was a little bit of nerviness about them, and you'd have thought that Tottenham, once they did score the goals, they just continue down that line and see how much more they can put them under pressure. But in the end, it didn't quite happen.
Yeah, the emotions could not be more contrasting, could they? For those in the white of Tottenham and those in the blue of Chelsea. So, 8 of the 9 games played in match week 15 after the Merseyside derby was postponed early on Saturday. Villa claiming back-to-back wins after beating Southampton. The Saints have now lost 12 of their 15 games this season. Brentford extending their incredible home record. 7 wins in 8 in that entertaining game against Newcastle. Palace holding Manchester City to a 2-2 draw with the champions forced to come back twice. Nottingham Forest made the most of Manchester United's defensive mistakes in a first win at Old Trafford in nearly 30 years. As far as today's concerned, Arsenal had a late goal disallowed as they missed the chance to close the gap on leaders Liverpool with that draw at Craven Cottage. Ipswich at first were leading against Bournemouth, who hit back with 2 late goals to deprive the Tractor Boys their first home league win of the season. Similar story really for Leicester, who came from 2-0 down late on to draw with Brighton. And Chelsea have won 3-4 away at Tottenham on Monday. Huge game for Julian Lopetegui's West Ham against Gary O'Neill Wolves. The bottom of the table looks like this then. Southampton are now 8 points adrift of safety. Wolves play on Monday. They are 4 adrift, along with Ipswich Town. Palace are 4 clear of the relegation zone. Leicester 5 after their dramatic draw. Everton also 5 clear with the game in hand. West Ham going to Monday's game with a 6-point cushion. And then you've got Manchester United, Newcastle and Tottenham in the bottom half. At the top, Liverpool's lead at the summit is down to 4 points after Chelsea's win, who are 12 points better off than at this stage last season. Arsenal are third, 6 points behind Arne Slot's side. Manchester City in fourth. There's just 2 points then between Nottingham Forest in 5th and Fulham in 10th. 2 more goals for Cole Palmer. What a 2024 he is having, both of them from 12 yards. And Dan, that was quite a game in North London tonight. Yeah, crazy game. I think we were just sat watching it, couldn't believe what I was seeing. But I think when we spoke before the game, both teams are so good going forward that they were going to cause each other problems. And I thought when Chelsea sorted at half-time, they probably Chelsea's mistakes probably was a lot of Tottenham's chances. And I think once Chelsea changed a little bit, the second half, they went to that back 3, Carragher pushing in, they controlled the game a lot more and looked comfortable. Is there any point looking at the defensive aspects of that game?
I think you should always just look at the attacking from that. I think there were so many chances there, especially Palmer. I think Palmer was brilliant. Little touches he makes, he always seems to make the right pass. Just so composed.
In fact, Ian, it's the result or the type of performance that many of us were expecting, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, like we spoke about the defences at the start of the show, and now, you know, even Chelsea winning 8-0 the other day, still giving up 15 shots. You know, even against Southampton, still giving up chances for people to score. But I feel like Dan says, I think that today's came down to just like Chelsea's mistakes. If they were like a lot tighter and a lot more professional about how they're playing, like we talked about Badashile giving it to Colwell, and then he kind of, if they tighten up on that, then you'd like to think that they're going to be a little bit sharper with what they're doing.
Did it further cement what we already knew going into this game? Chelsea got some real momentum, and Spurs, well, they're all over the place again.
Yeah, they are all over. But Chelsea, they've got individuals there. They've got competition for places. All them players, the good players, they're looking over their shoulder. They can't afford to come off their form. That's a great position to be as a manager. And if one's playing, they took Palmer off, they've got Felix coming on, who's a really good international player. You know, that's just one example, but they've got that all over the pitch. Now, what that does is that forces consistency, because you're saying, I've got to perform again. It's probably only Palmer that could probably go, if I have a couple of bad games, I'm not going to be dropped. But the rest, they're all at it. Every single game, they're at it. And whether they like it or not, they're in the title race. They keep playing that down, but they're in the title race.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We've had a brilliant first 45 from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs leading Chelsea by 2-1, 2-0 up after just 11 minutes, Glenn.
Yeah, what a start, actually, you know, and, you know, good pressing again. That's what's, on the defensive side, that's what Spurs do well. That when they press together, and this is early in the game, everyone's energised. But this is a great little bit of movement here from Solanke. Johnson does well, but there's the one press. Look, there's the press. He's got the energy. He goes again. It's a dreadful ball from Badashile. He goes again. There's the press with you together. A slip again from Cucurella with those new boots that he's going to take off any minute now. But that movement, that little bit of movement. There you go. Jono, he's looking up. He's looking. Where's your movement? And it's the reason it's good movement, Ian, you would appreciate. It's late in the movement.
Really late.
Really late, and there's no chance of the defender actually covering that.
How good a finish is that from Solanke?
No. It's one of those that you just need half a yard on him, and you go as late as you can.
Carragher again involved with Spurs' second.
This is another great finish. This is because Gaffer, he loved this one because it goes back and through the legs. You can see the goalkeeper maybe expecting it to come across. Good closing down there. But once the goalies genuinely think he's going to try and whip this across, because that's what you're supposed to do, go across the keeper. But when you're as good as this and you've got this kind of ability, and you know the situation, he's just clipped it back across. It's a great goal. It's a fantastic goal.
I think the Spurs bootman's got to get a say there. He sneaked in there and put the wrong studs in Cucurella's boots.
Dan, anything the defender can do there to prevent that ball going through his legs?
I think it's hard. You're always trying to throw a big shape to block the ball. I think both goals, though, have come from sort of Chelsea playing into what Tottenham want them to do. They want them to play backwards so they can press. I spoke before the game about how they did at Brighton, where they used to go over the back line all the time. They've not even done that once against Tottenham. I think they've just played into the press.
You ever changed boots mid-game?
Definitely not. I'm a stud guy all the way.
I'm a stud guy. You're a stud, baby. You're a stud, baby.
But yeah, I mean, unusual scenes really with Carragher. The unsuitable footwear, they needed to be changed, but the damage really had been done. But to spare his blushes somewhat, Dan, Chelsea have snatched one back.
Yeah, a really good goal from sort of Chelsea's point of view. You see Enzo there takes Dragusin away, which gives that option. I think sort of defensively, if you look here, I think it's between Saar and Basuma. Saar in particular, all he needs to do is get across in that space there, and he's just there for when Sancho runs in. As I said, good run from Enzo, Dragusin away, and a great finish, but I said another goal that could have been easily prevented.
You know the good thing about this is that what we're seeing poor defending and poor decisions being made, but we're seeing them punished. Because offensively, these teams are very good. Yeah. But defensively, like we said, they're not great. No. But like, what's brilliant about it is that for the neutral, it's a brilliant game to watch.
I mean, the scoreline could have been anything after 45 minutes. Let's have a look at Chelsea's chances, Ian.
Yeah. Well, this is as collector's item in respect to Cole Palmer, because like, I don't know if it's come too quick, but you're just not expecting him to miss that. It's coming in on his left foot as well. He's just got ahead of it.
There's the space here again. Look, you can't give that player, particularly that sort of space. You know, Neto, because it's on his right, he's trying to get it back on his left. Great save from Forster.
Two good saves.
But the game at this stage was so open. It was like a basketball game.
Spurs won't want to regret these, will they?
Yeah, they keep giving the ball to Tottenham there, and they've not capitalised. You know, they've played forward there. Son comes across. If he can just sort his feet out a bit quicker, Solanke. That's the goal. And there's the manager. I've been there. Yeah, I've been there.
I think Sanchez, the goalkeeper, is doing everything he can to level this up for some reason. He really does frighten me. He frightens me, Sanchez.
Well, this is fun. Unless you're of a nervous disposition,
Great
this
half.
has been a really entertaining first half. Let's get through it all really quickly, starting with Dominic Solanke's opening goal.
And he's been brilliant all half. They've been terrified of him. Badiashile and Levi Colwill have really struggled to deal with him. They were sloppy, and obviously he then slips. Cucurella, Brennan Johnson gets away. But what I love about this is movement. Look at Solanke, just dips in behind Colwill, gets on his blind spot, and then nips in front of him again. But look at the pressure he's putting him under again. I love it. Just watch him. Keep your eye on him. He just waits. Can I get the movement right? That ball's going to come into the near post, and then off he goes. And it's a brilliant finish. It really is. And he's been excellent all half, Solanke.
Marc Cucurella slipping, and we'll see in a moment that that's happened to him a couple of times in this half. He's only given the ball away twice in the whole of the first half, and both times it's led to a Tottenham goal. So first of all, there was Dominic Solanke's effort, and then, Paul, it happened again.
Yeah, it's happened again. I felt sorry for him. Yeah, he gives the ball away, and then all of a sudden it gets to Kulusevski. One thing, don't put it on his left foot. Let him. He runs across the pitch, and then he pulls it back, and it goes. You've got to know your players. I see it last week, Saka against Nottingham Forest. He runs across the box. You know he wants to get it on his left foot, and it's the same here. It's bad defending. It's probably the only thing I think it's Lavia that's done wrong, really, because he's been absolutely outstanding, the lad. But yeah, Cucurella, he kicks the back of it. It looks like he kicks the back of his foot, Cucurella.
It's a cheeky finish.
And it's a great finish, but...
You know, some players, they just aim to get it through the legs. Do you think he means that?
I have thought so, because he's running. He's saying, you know...
Change his boots.
Yeah, he's 27, 28.
But the thing is, he's
changing his own boots.
Yeah, but he's
got blades on or moles. He's got studs, and he's got the studs again.
Sometimes
really
I didn't see it just now. I don't think they did. But usually you come out, warm up, and then they water the pitch again. But I didn't see him water the pitch again today. I didn't see it.
He's got his boots on and he hasn't slipped since then.
No,
so it
seems
to have sorted it out for him. And then Chelsea back in it.
Phenomenal goal. Again, don't show him on his right foot. Sancho comes in. But what I like about this, he comes in with pace. I mean, he comes across that pitch. Kulusevski's one's a bit slower. He's coming 100 mile an hour, and then to finish like that, it's a phenomenal finish by the lad. I don't see how Chelsea lose this game. I'd be shocked if they lost this game. I think they run right second half.
It could be any score, couldn't it?
Yeah, but they look more of a threat, Chelsea, now.
Always entertaining, this fixture. And in this fixture last season, there were two